Hi everybody and welcome to this week's Tune In Tuesday. This week's episode is the second episode of the three-part series of my time in Egypt. Last week was the first, which followed my time with Kelowna divers, exploring the Red Sea's marine realm and seeing how Kelowna were avoiding single-use plastics and being more sustainable. In fact, the only time we really saw plastics when we were with Kelowna was at the end of every day when we were getting in the bus to go back to our hotel. In the marina, there would be a little gathering of some single-use plastics that were washing in, but they were also having somebody go out every day and pick them up. So this week's episode is going to focus on the resort where we stayed, looking at what they're doing to be more sustainable and how they're avoiding single-use plastics. So here's a montage of clips of how fantastically preserved the house reef is and also what the hotel is doing to be more sustainable and avoid single-use plastics.
As from today, we never use plastic. We will start with this new straw, paper straw. Very good.
Okay, hello, I am Hani from Egypt. I work in the beautiful Red Sea Resort. I'm telling you really good news. From the 1st of June, a week ago, we had a new law went into effect that the single-use plastic is not allowed anymore. Anywhere in the Red Sea, in the hotels, in the supermarkets, in the street, anywhere, even the small shops, they're not allowed to use it. And we really take care of sustainability and the environment. So we've been really doing this for a long time, but now, actually, the good news is we want to promise our guests that we and all our suppliers, we will not using this plastic anymore. So actually, we're working with our suppliers everywhere, in the boats, in the hotels, to stop using actually this one, which is really, really good. So we're trying to raise the awareness of this here in our beautiful Red Sea to help the cleanness and to live this beautiful marine life and the corals forever for our guests to have a wonderful time. And also would like to our guests to help us in this to step light and to make sure that they're not using the plastic in the Red Sea to save the life of these beautiful creatures in the sea. I would like also to thank you, Stevenson family. Yesterday you cleaned our beach here, which is amazing really. Thank you very much for this, and we hope to see you all back. Thank you.
Hopefully you were able to see there not only how well preserved the marine environment is down at the hotel with regular beach cleans that the staff are undertaking, but also the steps that the hotel, TUI and the Red Sea Resort in general are taking to reduce their reliance on single-use plastics and make things much more sustainable. But what happens when you go further away from the resorts? Well, we took a trip with Grand Rock Safaris out on quad bikes through the desert to see a remote beach to see if there were plastics still washing up. hiking through the desert for the last 45 minutes, and we've come across this really secluded remote beach that is very, very difficult to get to, and it's really far away from all the resorts and all the hotels, and it's completely strewn with plastic bottles and other forms of plastic. So we've started doing our beach clean. We've already filled 2 huge bags filled with plastic bottles, and we've still got the other side to do. But it's just such a shame to see that by the resorts and all the hotels, they keep the beaches perfectly clean and you won't find a plastic bottle anywhere in sight. But right here, I mean, the reef is here. Just there you can see the reef, and on the beach there's plastic bottles everywhere. Tune In Tuesdays a few weeks ago was going fossil hunting down on the Jurassic Coast in England, and down here on the beach in Egypt, literally looking into the cliff, you see old bits of coral everywhere, shells. It's absolutely fascinating to see it all right in front of me.
Okay, we have here a fantastic excursion for the quad safari, and you would like to see everything in the desert, a mountain. If you'd like to clean the beach also, we can go.
I must admit, I was generally pleasantly surprised with our time in Egypt by how little plastics we were finding while we were diving and snorkeling. But as you see here, when you go away from the tourist traps and the resorts, there is still a whole load of plastics washing in. But it is so fantastic to hear that from the 1st of June, single-use plastics will be banned from the Red Sea area. So it means that good changes are coming, and hopefully as time goes on, the amount of plastics in these remote areas will decrease. One of the biggest struggles that is quite commonly facing people when they go away is that the tap water isn't drinkable. And I was expecting us to go through a whole load of plastic bottles to drink the water. But as a matter of fact, because we had our reusable bottles with us at all times, we never once used a plastic bottle of water, because in the hotel they had refillable mineral water always available, and on Kelowna's boats, as you saw last week. So just remember, whenever you are anywhere in the world, ensure you have your reusable drinks bottle so that you can avoid buying plastic bottles. So thank you so much for watching this week's Tune In Tuesday, and I'll see you next week for next week's episode.